Hi, it's me, Rasheed, coach, speaker, and author, and welcome to the April issue of Catch the Coach, the video newsletter for fulfillment and for meaningful progress. And excuse me, today I wanted to talk about space. I'm out today in the park. This is quite a big park, but there's a lot of space. I want to talk about space across the board, physical space, head space, room to think, space to recharge. Because often we think a lot about in life about content, about stuff, but stuff is meaningless without space. We think about time and things that are happening in time, but even things that are happening in time is pretty meaningless without the space. And so I wanted to talk about space directly, because sometimes we think about space kind of negatively, empty space, things to fill up. But there's magic in allowing space. Challenge that can happen a lot of the time is that we become so busy that we don't allow space, or we don't appreciate space because we just want to accumulate things, stuff. Sometimes even if there are people around us, we don't give them space. And so the interesting thing about the spring is that space is a necessity. And if we look behind me, here are the trees. Each tree is allowing the other tree space. When you see how flowers grow, each flower is allowing the other flowers space, that room to be, that room to breathe. So the thing I want you to think about now is, how is it that you're feeling in terms of space? And also, that space may mean so many things to you. What first of all comes to mind? Is it for you about headspace? Is it that you need to get out a little bit more into nature to have time to pause and breathe and to exercise and things like that? Is that what space is meaning to you? Is for you space about the physical space that you're in at the moment? Is it a time of change for you? Is it that you're wanting to change things in your physical space? Is it that you're moving? Is that you're yearning to move to another space completely? There are times where that is what happens in terms of space. So I want to invite you to just for a moment now to pause and breathe. To be silent. And to enjoy that space. So sometimes space is going to be about, just getting out of your head, getting out of the home, getting out of the house for a while, and just giving yourself a little bit of time to pause, to breathe, to recenter, to reconnect, to re-energize. It can often be that. And actually, even when we're thinking about the things which relate to content in our lives, at work, in our business, that we know that having a little bit of space can really help that inspiration and that creativity. And it can bring in all sorts of ideas that come from the broader space, not just being confined to our heads. So again, it's about space. So again, I just want to ask you, what kind of space is it that's really relevant for you? Is it time that you give yourself even space? Is it that you're needing space from yourself? The other thing that's really interesting nowadays in the era that we live in is how much time we spend in virtual spaces, virtual space. And that's very, very interesting, because sometimes it consumes a lot of the time, so we're not in real, natural space. We've almost come to put the virtual, the synthetically artificial space ahead of the power of real space. And often we lose our way in that space. Isn't it funny? We could be where we are, but we can lose ourselves in that space. I think that's pretty much all I want to say for today. But I think by way of bringing these things, wrapping it all up, I think one of the beautiful things about this time of the year, as we get into spring, is it can be a time for growth. It may well be a time where you're wanting to do that spring clean. And that would be my tip. If you haven't already done that, do that spring clean at home, in the office, um, with your computer, with the phone, and that, just to clear some space. Recycle what you can. Perhaps you can gift some things to others. Um, that can be a very, very, very powerful thing in of itself. So that spring clean may well be the first step that you need. And I'd also recommend that you try and just build in some space for you. And I think particularly ironically, if you've got a very, very busy life and a busy mind, then having that space can be very powerful. Now, if you've got a lot of responsibilities, it might be that you're only able to grab 10 minutes here or there, but 10 minutes to pause, breathe, pray, meditate, do some exercise for the body. Any of these things that are there for body, spirit, mind can be very, very powerful. And also then they can help connect you to that inner space, your own heart, the body, your own wellness. So yeah, appreciate this season. Appreciate as you do the spring clean. Appreciate as you hopefully get back out into nature, as you reconnect to your own nature. And then when it does come to the things like the content that is in your life, the relationships, the work, the people who it is that you know, you can then think, okay, who is it now that I need to give that little bit of space to? We often think about gifting people with stuff, but could you gift them with a little bit of space, being present in that space? Or could you even gift them with a little bit of that time, which might be the time being away? So yeah, I want to wish you all the best for this season. Thank you so much for tuning in. And do, if you're a point in time of where things are shifting, why not come along to my free Networking for Success event, run online, free. It's a nice virtual space. Or my Soul Trader, Your Heart, Your Business sessions. Again, they run monthly, every month apart from August when we take space and time out. I'm in proud partnership with the British Library. So please do come along, join me there. It would be great to see you there. And do look out for, coming soon, Evolved Heart. Evolved Heart is something that I first explored, oh my goodness, about 15 years ago. And I'm going to be bringing more things from that space soon. But I just want to thank you very much for being here, and give yourself with that little bit of space after this, just to pause and breathe and to see where it lands and settles. Thank you.